3 months, 12 weeks, 84 days. That's how long Hollywood takes to write a script. Except I know for a fact I can do it in a lot less. Hello my disciples and rivals, my partners in crime, and I don't have a second rhyme. I am Jake, the one and only Jake Owen. And today I will be guiding you through my entire process on writing a script. In this video, I will be guiding you through every step to make the script writing process quick, efficient, and most importantly, easy. But first, let me explain why I'm doing this. Basically, I believe that on the internet there are a lot of filmmaking tutorials, but not a lot of good ones. Most of them are just motivational videos telling you to just do it. I've actually found that the best kind of filmmaking tutorials are filmmaking challenges, and I think I know why. It's because they guide you through the whole process, and today I'm gonna do the same. If you've been following my channel recently, you're probably aware that I am making a Doctor Who fan film and have been documenting the process of making it. So today I'll be focusing on writing that movie and we'll be using it as an example. Step 1. The idea. A lot of people find that getting the idea is the hardest part of all, but I find it relatively easy. Of course, this step doesn't concern my current fan film. I'll just be writing it to prove a point. Now here is a photo of what I actually am currently writing on that notebook. Yeah, I know it currently looks like some poorly written nonsense, but let me explain it. First, I choose a genre. In this case, I chose horror. Then I choose what type of movie I'm making. What I mean by that is what concept. Like action can be a spy movie, romance can be forbidding love, enemies to lovers. In this case, I chose survival. Then I think of possible main locations, possible main threats, until eventually I can find a very basic idea. In this case, I went with a group of friends wake up in a forest thinking they are all alone, but little do they know about the cult that lives in the forest. Side note, remember I will not be reusing this concept anytime soon in the video, so you can steal it if you want. Now enjoy this time lapse of me actually writing all of this down. Step 2. Take breaks. Alright, so this is not actually step 2, but it is important. You need to remember that sometimes the script needs to be postponed just a little bit. Because although it's important, your well-being is even more important. Remember to go outside, take a walk, talk with your friends, and then you can go back to your script. Actual step 2, research. So this step is crucially important for both fan films and feature films, but most directors and writers forget to do this part. Basically, what you should do is watch your favorite movies of the same genre and type, and write down stuff that you like about it. For example, write your favorite scene types, your favorite character types, and the overall structure, because this helps you get a better understanding of what type of movie you're making. And this is also crucially important for fans films too. See, currently I'm watching one of my favorite specials of all Doctor Who and writing down character behaviors, the structure, the overall tone, things you know that I should know. This step is often overlooked, but these notes really did help me in future steps. And arguably this step is even more important for fan films, as this is what helped me get the idea. I took my favorite parts, favorite concepts, plus my research of how a Doctor Who story usually is, and it allowed me to make my concept, which I am very proud of. And I ended up getting all of these notes. Step 3. Structure. Alright, so I'm about to start the story circle. While I'm trying to get hair out of my mic, let me just quickly explain what Dan Harmon's story circle is. Dan Harmon's story circle is a structure that basically says that the character will start in a comfort zone, will desire something, enter an unfamiliar situation, adapt to the situation, get what they desired, pay a heavy price for winning, return to a familiar situation, and have overall changed. Now, this structure doesn't apply to every single movie, but it is one of the secrets to having a captivating story. Alright, so I just finished adapting the story to Dan Harmon's story circle. I wrote it all down on here. And yeah, normally you should keep things broad with this part. But if you're making a fan film like I am, you already have the characters. So might as well just have it be more specific. I am now going to adapt everything to each act, which is slightly different. I'll let the editor tell you all about that. Alright, now that I have control back, let me explain. Dan Harmon's story circle is usually applicable to every single act, as long as you remove the 7th step, which is to return to a familiar situation. Because if the characters don't return to a familiar situation, then the movie doesn't end just yet. Which is why you can apply this to every single act. Well, it took a while, but I have successfully finished adapting every act to the Dan Harmon story circle. Well, time to move on to the next step. Step 3, world building. Now this is the shortest step, but basically this is where you kind of figure out your characters and how your world acts. This is where you start naming your characters, giving them personalities, character arcs, stuff like that. I won't make a whole thing about this because this step is quite short, but I'm sure you can figure it out. Step 4, outlining. So currently I am going to start writing the outline for the film. Honestly, there is not much to say about this part. The way you do this is you just use everything that you already have, then you get the idea of how it's going to go, and then you write Act 1, write everything that happens in Act 1, then write Act 2, everything that happens in Act 2, etc. Basically, until you do all that until you get a rough outline of your movie. And now the step you've all been waiting for, scripting. And now, I just take all my notes, my outline, and I write. If you don't know all the technical aspects of writing a script, like the words, the vocabulary, I can make another tutorial on that, but you can find it really easily online. And basically all you have to do now is write using everything you already have. The script at this point should be a breeze to write. And the final step is just to edit the script. Get some feedback, add some notes, and perfect your script. There's nothing more for me to say. And with that said, this adventure might be over, but your watching spree sure isn't. So go watch my other videos, subscribe, till our next communion.